Triangle LMN is shown below, where P is the midpoint of MN. So based on what it's saying, I'm looking for a triangle, and the triangle should be labeled LMN. All right, so this is a triangle, and it's labeled LMN. Great. And it says P is the midpoint. Midpoint. So when we think of this word midpoint, what comes to mind? What comes to mind is the middle of a line, or it's a point in the middle of a line segment. And to find the middle, it really means to half, right? Or divide it by 2. So to find where P is, you have to find MN and divide it by 2. And look at that. Look at the order. It says MN. That is going to be very important in when we're doing our calculations. Good. So now it says express the following vectors in terms of X and Y. So the first one we're going to look at is M to P. That's the first one. So remember, I always tell you, when you're going to find vectors like this, you need to draw a vector map. So we're going to start at M and we're going to head towards P. So when I look at it, there's no X or Y where M and P is. But we can use the relationship that we were given in the stem of the question to find it. Remember, the point P is the midpoint between MN. So that literally means it's going to be half of MN. So I would need to find the vector MN first and then multiply it by a half. So let's find MN. Now it is we can take that vector map. So if I'm at M, I have to travel down to L, and that is against that vector. Then I have to make that turn at the turning point and travel along with LN. So if I'm going to make my vector map for MN, it would be M to L plus L to N. This is where the relationships come in very important. So let's look for L to M. Remember, we were traveling against that vector, and the vector was X. So it'd be negative LM, which would have worked out to be X. And remember, it is negative. And we're going to add to that the regular LN. And the regular LN was just Y. Good. So M to N would have been minus X plus Y. But remember, we want to find M to P, which is half of that. So what I need to do now is to bracket all of this and bring down this multiply by a half. So all I would have to do now is to multiply the entire bracket by a half. So I could treat this bracket as a whole number and go so boops, slash it and divide it by 1. Now I could just multiply the numerators and the denominators. So 1 times this negative X is going to give us negative X, and 1 times the Y will give us a positive Y. See that? And then 2 times 1 will give us just 2 in the denominator. Good. So the vector M to P is going to be negative X plus Y divided by 2. Now we want to find the vector L to P. So it means we're going to start at L and travel all the way to P. So I could go L to M and then from M to P, right? So the trick up with this one is, notice that we already worked out M to P in the previous question. So instead of working it all out again, we can simply just take the answer here and work with it. So the vector map to find L to P would have been L to M first, L to M, and then we're going to add to that M to P. So when we're moving L to M, this is with the vector. So it is going to be positive, and notice that it was X. And then when we were moving M to P, notice that was positive as well. And the answer from the previous question was M to P, which worked out to be this. So what we could do here is to put this answer right here. So M to P would have been minus X plus Y all over 2. And what I can do is to clean this up a little by distributing this positive sign to these in the bracket. So this positive with this negative is going to give us a negative X. And this positive with this positive Y is going to give us a positive Y same way. And it's all going to be divided by 2. And notice we still have that X. And all of this will work out to be L to P. Now, this is where the algebraic fractions come in very handy. Right? So we can rewrite X, this X, as a fraction to be X over 1. And seeing that we're going to be subtracting the fractions now, we need to use the butterfly method to work it out. So we can simply do this and cross multiply, right? So it now becomes 2 times X, which would be 2X. And then we have to do this 1 times everything up there, so which will give us negative X plus Y. And you have to remember the final step. Let me highlight it for you. It's going to be this, the 2 and the 1. So 2 times 1 will give us 2. So what we can do at this point now is to clean it all up. So we'll have 2 X's and we're taking away one of them. So we're going to be left back with just a positive X. This is the only Y that we have, so we're going to keep it as positive Y. And remember, it is being divided by 2. So the vector L to P will work out to be X plus Y divided by 2.